Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you a few tricks that I use in the wintertime to help me put more crappie in the boat. Now wintertime can be a great time to catch a lot of fish and some big fish too. But with these cold fronts coming in and out and stuff and the water muddying up, these fish are constantly changing to what they want. And today I'm just going to show you a few tricks that have helped me from putting little to no fish in the boat to putting limits in the boat pretty consistent. So first thing is where do you find these fish? In the wintertime, these fish are going to travel these bluff walls on your main channels because that's where your bait's going to be. The bait will be running these walls, and the laydowns and stuff is primarily where a lot of guys, especially on my home lake here, where they tend to catch a lot of fish. And so stick to the main channels on your bluff walls. There'll be some fish on there all winter long. Just look for the laydowns and stuff. When you get up to the laydowns, there's two different rigs that I run. I bring two different rods. And of course, this is my 7.5 foot ACC crappie stick. Got a 10-pound line on it. Got a number 2 wire hook, and about 8 or 10 inches above it, I have a pretty good size split shot there. Now, when I pull up to these laydowns, if these fish are going to be aggressive, I'll drop straight down on them, and that's the way I like to catch them. But a lot of times that's not the case. They don't want it. They want a different presentation. So I always start out, see how aggressive these fish are. I'll drop straight down on them, see how they react. If they're not biting real good, or if they're just running up, nipping at it, not wanting, that tells me they're wanting a different presentation. Some other rod. This same 7.5 foot ACC crappie stick, got 10-pound line on it. This time of year, I like to use hair jigs. The hair jigs, it's a more subtle jig. You don't put off as much action as your soft plastics do. Got it on 10-pound line. About 10 or 12 inches above this one, you'll see a tiny split shot up there. I don't know what size it is, but it's a whole lot smaller than I use on my live bait rig. So put that little split shot up about 10 or 12 inches above your jig there. That's a 1/32 ounce hair jig right there. And what I'll do is, if these fish in these brush piles or on the structures not wanting to bite, I'll target these roaming fish, because your roaming fish are typically more active. That's the ones that's out chasing the bait. So we'll just parallel these bluffs. We'll cruise really slow with the trolling motor. We find one we want to drop on. I'll just pitch this lure out past it. And I like to stay about 15 feet off of these fish so I don't spook them. So I'll throw out about 20, 25 foot and just slowly work this jig back. Now what this small split shot does, don't let it fall real quick. You want that jig to have a subtle little flutter going down. And you want to swim this jig just above these crappies' heads. So slow rolling it right above their heads, working it back to the boat. That can be a real effective way to catch them in the wintertime. And especially if the fish that are stacked on the structure don't want to bite. Now a lot of times, like today, the lake's pretty much blown out except for this one little piece, this little stretch right here. So in this muddy water, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take me a jig, something with some pink or chartreuse in it, something that's got a little, just something real bright in it, and I'll tip this jig with a minnow. So what that does, that gives me a little bit of, you got the fluorescent colors to help attract the fish, and you got the vibration of the minnow to help draw the fish to where the fish can zero in on it. So that can be an effective way too. So just a few little tricks to help you put more fish in the boat. Wintertime can be a great time of year. It's one of my favorite times of year, and there's several ways you can catch them, and that's just a trick that I learned, and it's helped me put a lot of limits in the boat the past few months. So appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time.